So what is actually awakening? Nobody can really explain. And what I say is also not don't take it as a truth, rather as a finger pointing to the truth maybe. But awakening is arriving home. That's all. That's all it is. Just arriving home. And in this wholeness, nothing more is needed. Though the mind will for sure misinterpret this. This is a bit misleading statement, I would say, but this is a true statement. Nothing is needed. It doesn't mean that you stop taking care of your body, you stop feeding yourself properly, taking care of yourself and your loved ones. Not at all. But nothing is needed. You are home. It doesn't mean that you feel happy all the time or in bliss. It doesn't mean any of this. When you're home, really home, and this is what you really want, yeah, to be home, and you recognize that you arrived. Thinking that you arrived and recognizing that you arrived, two different things. When you think you arrived, watch these thought processes. Just watch them. Don't believe, don't cling. Don't own these thoughts. Let them go. They came from nowhere, they will go to nowhere. But when you are home, you even don't need to call it home. You know. There is no doubt. And this is what is meant that when people tell stories, for example, about Buddha, which spoke to people, and other masters of the past, which spoke to people, because when you arrive home, you see that suffering is not real. You see also that all kind of enjoyments is not real, because they come and go. It doesn't mean that you cannot appreciate a good food or a good movie, not at all, or a good book. It doesn't mean that. But you see that labeling of the mind, the ownership of the mind, which says, I own this experience, this is who I am. I am a victim, I am a successful, I am this profession or that profession, I am this gender or that gender, I am this body, you are this body. All these notions, just complete illusion. It's kind of a dream. And suddenly you have an opportunity to wake up in the dream. And it's very simple. It's available to you right now. And you stop looking for it. When you stop looking for a relief, from your problems. How you stop looking for a relief from your problems? You just notice the mind tendency to look for relief. And you let it be. Let mind speak. And you stay home. You don't touch. This home is silence. This home is love. This home is happiness. Which are there, always here, irrespective of the experience, which might be a complete opposite from what I just told. And it's not what mind been taught. Mind was taught that when we want to be happy, we need to search for happiness. And we're going in circles, we look for it. Sometimes we find it, but what we find is just another experience, which will go away. You cannot own any experience. The river of life is ever flowing, forever. It's just flowing. So if you want to get something, try and see if it works. If you want to stop losing something, try to see if it works. Find that which you cannot lose. And to find that, you need to lose everything you actually can lose. And it's not a real loss, right? It's a loss of an illusion that you had something in your pocket, that you imagined yourself to be with big pockets filled with all kinds of stuff. But at some point it becomes a burden. It also doesn't mean that you need to try to lose everything. Just see that you don't own anything from the beginning. And in this non-ownership, everything belongs to you. Real happiness doesn't need any reason. Real love doesn't need any reason for it to be. It's just there. It's just here. I suggest we do maybe a little sit together now in silence and just leave doing and stay in being. And if anything arises, thoughts arise, just let them come and go. Any tendencies internal to capture an experience or to push away the experience, just to see it. So let's dive into it together, into just being. Not by doing. The mind is corrupting it. The mind will try to get it back. Experience which already was. So mind, when you look with the mind on the experience, mind cannot see the current moment. It cannot see the experience. It can only capture what already passed. So when you pay attention to something, it's already passed. So, very simple. It's called, in spiritual jargon, it's called surrender. So you surrender. Surrender not as a victim. You just surrender to what is now. And you allow the experience, however pleasant it was, to go. And you allow experience, however maybe not pleasant it seems to you, to come. This is real freedom. You stop leaving your home for the sake of anything. Now, to understand it, it's impossible. So I would suggest even not to try. It's ungraspable offering, what Gangaji said once. Ungraspable by the mind. Mind cannot grasp it. So you allow your mind to be, you don't fight with it, but you just let go. And if you were long time in the mind and in some belief and forgetfulness, you spend some time, it might be even not pleasant when you try to let go. Because in this forgetfulness, a lot of things were collected, different emotions, different feelings. And when you just let go of your mind control, you fall into this abyss. But there is no way, there is no other way home. And it's actually, it seems like an abyss, but it's freedom. When you really surrender to this abyss. Surrender to not knowing, not understanding anything. And yeah, when you surrender to this, sometimes in the beginning, somebody is needed for this experience. So this is when you meet yourself in this Dimitri. So your own self comes to you as Dimitri, yeah, like in theater, and says to you, you are already there. And this is what is said. Look for your own self. Inquire, who am I? Because this is a question of all questions. It dissolves every question and brings you home. So when the story will rise, story of victim or story of suffering, of story how successful I was once, yeah, and how I want to bring it back, let it be. Let the story be and don't touch it. Keep quiet. Stay home.
Well, I'm struggling tonight, and I think I'm struggling because I thought I knew what I needed to do, but now I'm thinking I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing because I'm thinking about who I am, and I shouldn't really be thinking about who I am, should I?
So let's forget about should and should not for a moment.
Right.
Let
I'm
it
struggling.
Go. Yeah. So you say, I'm struggling. Now, yeah. So you are aware of the struggle.
Yes.
And the one who is aware of the struggle, is she struggling? The one who is aware of the struggle, is she struggling? The awareness of the struggle.
Yes. But then when you say, and I'm trying hard to maybe understand, I'm trying hard to understand how I need to be home and who I am. And yet I'm thinking about what that means.
Exactly. Yeah, you know yourself, you see, how you can ask, how can I be, what I need to do to be whole. Yeah, stop doing anything. Just stop. Stop looking for anything.
So if you stop looking, and I know I shouldn't be asking these questions because...
No, you should. So please ask.
Okay,
but don't think that you shouldn't or should.
Okay, so if I'm asking, who am I? And I should just accept the struggle or not even accept the question. Is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
So can you describe what you feel? What do you refer to as struggle?
Well, I was thinking about the arrogance element and thinking about, and this is where I think I'm going wrong, because I'm thinking about what it is that I'm supposed to be doing rather than considering myself and who I am. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
I understand. Yeah. I understand what you mean. So this is a moment where surrender is needed, because mind cannot understand it. It has no chance to understand it, but you are not the mind.
So if I'm not the mind, if the mind has no chance of understanding it, and you said earlier on this evening that everything is in the past, nothing's, the mind is in the past on the experiences that we've had,
Yeah.
then how do you get into the now, to surrender?
I once heard the story, you know, it's kind of a fish, Papaji, I think, told it in one of his meetings. A fish asking for water because it's thirsty.
Mm. But have you ever seen a fish drink? I have.
So where can you be if not here and now? Whatever you imagine yourself to be. Try to be not here and now. Instead of trying to be here and now, let's try to be not here and now.
Yeah. It's a bit like you saying to your child, stay awake, isn't it?
Yeah, he immediately falls asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. I was sitting here thinking, I know that I'm struggling and I don't know how to get out of this struggle.
So when you notice the struggle, there is an awareness of the struggle. If you, rather than identifying with the struggle, you just stay as awareness of the struggle, or just as awareness. So you see then, you are aware of the struggle. Who is that which is aware? Who is that which is aware of mind's working?
But the only person that can be aware is oneself.
Then you ask, and who am I then?
Yeah.
And you don't accept any answer. This is when the inquiry actually leads to recognizing the mind's working and your freedom from these workings when you don't touch.
I want to say right, but I'm not quite
I see. It's okay.
Yeah.
Now you recognize this struggle and this confusion. Can you now at this moment to allow yourself to be totally confused?
Yeah, I think so.
You see, you're laughing. What is this laughter? This is a release.
Well, I'm laughing because I think I've been confused most of the night, actually. Yeah. I started off thinking that I knew what I was doing and ended up, when you were talking...
Once you think, I know what I was doing, this is the body-mind arrogance. Believe in the thought I.
Right.
Let it go. Don't believe in any thought. Don't disbelieve it either. Don't touch.
I find that very hard to do, Dimitri.
It's tricky. We need to look on it now carefully, what you said. I find it very hard to do. Are you aware of these thoughts?
Yes, I am.
Now, so these thoughts happening in your awareness, right?
And I want to give them away, don't I? I want to just accept.
You want to get rid of them.
Well,
you want to get rid of arrogance, for example. Yeah, it's a natural thing. You have to try to be better, but no, don't get rid of anything.
So if you just accept them,
you don't need even to accept.
So if you just surrender to it, which is what you said it was called, surrender.
Forget my words. Even don't surrender to it. Nothing. Don't do anything. How you don't do anything? I'll explain. You see the doing, right?
Yes.
The one who sees the doing, is he doing something? Stay as the seer of everything.
I'm confusing myself over...
Yeah, but wait. Don't try to get rid of confusion. I invite you now into confusion.
Yeah, and we've done this before with sadness, and I thought that I knew what I was doing when we've
done it before with what?
We've done it with sadness, and we've done it with pain.
It doesn't matter with what. With what
no,
appears.
And it doesn't. And that's where I thought maybe I was arrogant, because I thought that I knew what I was doing, and now I don't.
So this is a place to be in don't know. This is a place to stay. And don't call it I don't know. Just allow yourself not to know anything. So when
I shouldn't be...
leave it. When a child is born, a little baby, he doesn't or she doesn't know anything. Clean paper.
Okay, in England we say clean the slate.
So when you are really willing not to know anything, what do you experience then?
Who, me?
Yeah.
It's much more calming, I have to say. Yeah.
Why then run after trying to understand if it's agitating and make you feel struggling, right?
Yeah.
So I agree that sometimes we need to understand. When we need our mind for simple tasks or for everyday tasks, yeah, we need the mind. We cannot without it. But in this matter, you just...
I shall wipe my slate.
No, even not that. You remove the slate.